Why, hello there, Water Tribe. Welcome to Pages of Ascension. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back if you've been kicking it with me for a minute. So this is going to be a weekly reading for our waterkin. Recognize that this reading is general and it may or may not resonate. If it does, that's super fantastic, yo. Please comment down below and let me know. I do moderate my comments, so I promise you it will pop up. While my channel is still small enough, I want to get to know every single one of y'all as I can, as you comment. Let me just add in that caveat too, that if you comment because you want me to know something, but you don't necessarily want the rest of the world to know, you can put that in your comment and I won't post it, okay? So that said, I will not be covering zodiac signs specifically. I'm working with energy only, and I typically don't call out timing unless it's like really impressing upon me to do so. So there's that. And as per usual with any video produced on this channel, I will continue to watch my language to make sure that my readings are inclusive for any who may cross them. Okay. Oh, we got temperance flying out. Face up even. Or excuse me, why did I say temperance? Okay, temperance might be a thing for you guys. We'll see if the card comes up. But we've got justice popping up in our second position here, okay? So let's see here. I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff and things. So I did do a channeling over on my Patreon, talking about eclipse season and retrograde season and how that relates to the dark night of the soul, especially those of you who are still going through that process, or what I like to say, you're still within that tunnel heading towards the birth canal into something new. So that might be useful for you. It is about an hour. It is an hour and some change. So, grab a popcorn, some popcorn and a drink, and be prepared to listen. It is audio. And it is free to the public over on my Patreon page, but you have to go to Patreon to get the YouTube link. So it'll be at the bottom of the post for that. Okay, so that said, ooh, hello. Okay. It's looking good, y'all. It's looking good. So, in our first position, yes, we have victory and success. That is the Six of Wands traditional tarot. We have balance, which is justice in traditional tarot. Then we have firm foundation, the Four of Pentacles, and then, throat chakra. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. And then we have power, which in traditional tarot is the strength card. Look at the lion person. This is like one of my favorite cards in this deck. And then we've got sacrifice, which is this death or hang? I think this is the hangman. This is hangman. Yes. My other cheat sheet's right here. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh. And my sock is coming off. Oh, the struggle is so real. Water Tribe, it's so real. Okay. Okay. So yes, this is the hangman. See, I should have just trusted myself. Okay. Which is interesting in its own right. Okay, sock, seriously right now? Because there are two majors on top of each other. Okay, so this is a pretty big week for y'all, Water Tribe. I definitely think you're starting right off the gate with some type of success that you want to celebrate, or I should say it's the success that's throwing you a little bit off of balance because you're so excited and you're trying to bring yourself back to center. Okay, which, I mean, that's amazing. Like, celebrate. If you've got something to celebrate, by all means celebrate, because life is short, and for as many opportunities as there are that present themselves to us to truly be grateful and to celebrate them, we very rarely take advantage of every single one. So take advantage of this time and celebrate, okay? If that's something you really feel called to do and you have something to celebrate, okay? So then with justice appearing, so What's really interesting about this is not only do we have justice on the table, but we also have the strength card. And it's like justice doesn't appear unless there's been an injustice, and the strength card doesn't appear, unless the devil is lurking nearby. There's another reader I got that from a long time ago when I was watching her channel. Your angelic karma. Badass right there, okay? But she said that, and I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So that is the thing. You're not going to see, typically, this card, this combination, unless the devil was lurking nearby. And when justice appears, again, and I know I'm repeating myself, but for justice to appear, it means there has been an injustice. Now, I do feel like this is more an injustice towards you because you're walking into victory and success this week. Okay? And the victory and success you're walking to, I feel like, is because because this balance is coming in to this situation, because this wrong is finally being righted for you. Okay? It does have to do with you being grounded and that does not go there. You being grounded and feeling grounded in this situation, which I feel like is where the balance is coming from. This could have been or could still be a very tumultuous time for you, Water Tribe, okay? And that's the reason Spirit is saying you need to ground, homie. Okay? Luckily, at least in the northern hemisphere, we are in summer. But if you are in the southern hemisphere or somewhere where it's like legit still cold outside, find a way to ground, whether that's, putting your hands in some soil and planting something. That can be sticking your bare feet on the ground and meditating, sitting. I was going to say seditating. Sitting on the ground. That works too. Like, to have as much of your skin as possible for the piece of property that you're on, touching the ground to help ground yourself. Meditation is also something that works great for that. I mention that because we've got that Hangman card here, which often speaks to me not just being at a point of pausing, but also of meditating or the need to meditate, especially because we've got it combined with the strength card here, which is power in this deck. So there is power in your sacrifice. That is literally what it's saying in this instance, okay? So what I'm also picking up is that you will gain an addition of personal power and strength if you meditate, okay? So, yeah, and not only do you need to ground yourself here pretty quickly, but I do feel like this victory that's coming in for you, number one, it's not an empty victory. Like, this is something that has been coming. Like, it's well-deserved, it's long overdue, and it's finally landing at your doorstep. But I feel like that this is something that you don't necessarily see coming. It's going to happen very, very quickly. It's like 1 minute everything's peachy keen, next minute you just became a millionaire, okay? That's kind of a wild, analogy, example, if you will, but roll with it, okay? So, as far as, why do I feel like this didn't go here? I'm always moving cards around. We're just going to roll with it. Okay, so, yeah, there's definitely been some obstacles. I feel like these obstacles have had a lot more to do with speaking your truth. And this is literally, at this point, this has come up for every single element. So that is a collective theme. Confirmation by my neighbor's dog. This has to do with speaking your truth, okay? Because the security of your foundation lies in... Sorry, it's totally distracting. The security of your foundation, I feel like, is completely reliant upon you sticking up for yourself and speaking your truth, unblocking that throat chakra, okay? And there might be a minor blockage there. So, that said, let's go ahead and dig into the clarifiers. So I want to know why balance is needed at this time, and why excuse me. I want to know about this Major's energy. Actually, just kidding. Or not kidding with these. I'm keeping these. But I also, actually, I want to know about that too. So we're going to pull a couple cards for that. Let's just pull them all out, and then I'll dig into the interpretations and stuff. Oh, so if I didn't tell y'all, because I've told all the other signs, and, I don't want any element to feel left out. So if you've been keeping up on my roll the dice readings, I actually mentioned that I straight bit it in front of my mom's house. My ankle, and it hurts really bad. Well, come to find out, I actually fractured that little thing. So fractured ankle here, but the message for that was definitely to pull back on my energy a little bit. I've been burning the candle at both ends. So I may not do roll the dice readings every day this coming week. So just keep that in mind. I'm not abandoning the channel or anything. I'm not even abandoning Instagram, but for a moment I need to take a pause on it. Probably throughout the retrograde season is what I'm thinking. I'll let you guys know when I'm headed back over there. But in any case, so let's give us some cards here. Why are y'all being so quiet? Don't tell me you don't want to clarify majors. You love to clarify majors. You usually give me 10 cards. Let's try this again. Yes, I talk to my cards. I straight up talk to my cards. Because if I don't, they get a little spicy. Start flipping everywhere. Oh, I love being a misfit. Just saying. I am the esoteric misfit. Okay. Finally, yo. So, under Justice, we've got the Queen of Swords. We've got the Ten of Wands. And then we've got Strength. Because, for good measure, Spirit just wanted to double down on the same energy. Because it likes to do that. Because it's spicy. So, again, part of this, not part of this. So, the reason that you are being tasked with keeping balance this week is because you're at the very end of dealing with some type of burden. So I see this as someone who's finally taking the initiative to cut something off. Because that's effectively what the Queen of Swords is for me. I don't necessarily call her the Ice Queen because I think that this character being the quote-unquote Ice Queen is very dependent on what other cards are around them at the time. But I do feel like in this situation, the Queen of Swords is very much your archetype, water tribe. So it's you needing to literally cut something out at the knees, cut something out of your life, cut a person out of your life, a habit, thought form. No. I could, continue to go through that, but I think you get the point. Of course, this is a very heart protective energy. We've got the Lovers on the table, and we've also got, excuse me, I was trying to read the Gemstones that time. So we've got Ruby on the table, and we've also got Rubellite, which is a red or pink tourmaline. Okay, and like I will always say, tourmalines of all kinds are very protective, no matter what their color scheme. I prefer black. Ooh, check it out. Never leave the house without my black tourmaline. Hell, I don't take it off in the house. Side note. In any case, I do feel like, especially this is regarding a romantic situation, it's not really giving me one way or the other, whether this is romantic or friendly or if it has to do with work. It could literally do with anything. This could have to do with your spiritual life, just because we've got the Justice card appearing out here and the Hangman. But ultimately, there is something that you need to give up. That's what it comes down to. There is something that still needs to be released for you. So one thing that I'm getting from this onyx is that this has to do with some type of grief. So it's okay, couple different scenarios. So one scenario is that, like I said, there's someone, something that you need to actually cut out your life because it no longer serves you, and it's just about you gaining the strength to be able to move forward and release that burden. Okay. And then in a whole separate scenario, sorry, one second. Hmm. Yeah, you're cutting off the burden. So whatever that second scenario that like was there, that thought bubble is gone. So apparently this is a scenario it wants me to focus on, which is actually kind of good because it keeps it a lot more broad, which is what I prefer for these types of readings. Just so the messages, general messages, can reach the people that they need to. But ultimately, this comes down to you needing to cut something out. So let's see here. I was talking about not necessarily love, romantic. We do have protective cards or protective gemstones in here. That's the trick about reading tarot cards that are also gemstone cards. Sometimes you get those mixed up. But we've got Tiger's Eye, which is 10 of coins, and that's under your throat chakra and firm foundation. So I do feel like speaking your truth will bring you abundance, and it will bring you abundance very, very quickly. But you have to speak up, Water Tribe. You have to speak up. The abundance that you have, like that's on deck to come in for you, is completely dependent upon you speaking your truth. Okay? You have to speak up. 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 You have to communicate. Okay? Again, I say have to, but recognize free will is a thing. You know, it's like your favorite Coach Percy. Oh God, I did not just say Coach Percy. I don't even like Coach. Okay? I think they look tacky. That's just me. Okay? More of a Sharif person. But in any case, oh my God. Can't tell I'm tired and my ankle hurts. What it comes down to, there is some truth that needs to be spoken, and it's going to directly affect how strong your foundation is. It's you might even feel like this is an impossible situation. You might be like listening to this reading thinking, okay, Tia, seriously, like how am I supposed to do that given that this is going on and this is going on and that is going on? Well, I can't really answer that in this type of reading. You want to get at me for a personal on that, link is down below. Again, I'm also on Instant Go. Okay, so you can ask a one question, one answer question over there for less than $10. But everything you need to resolve this situation is already within your reach. It might even literally be right by your side. It's just a matter of seeing it, okay? When you get chakra cards, especially multiple chakra cards in a reading, it does tell me that the energy that's flowing at this time is going to be very major for you. And again, that's another reason why this balance card is coming out, is because not only is everything going to be coming in so quickly, but it's going to require you to remain to have some degree of perspective as you're going through all this. Now, just to move on, because we're already at 19 minutes. Holy crap. Oh, time flies when you're channeling. So you've got the Lovers that is covering power and sacrifice. Okay. So what's interesting is what I'm hearing is that it all begins with love. Confirmation from the watch on my hand that is going off nonstop. It's kind of rad. But yeah, it all begins with love for this situation. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's love of self, if that's love of another, if that has to do with just being in love with where you are, with how far you've come, with how much you've grown. That is going to be very specific to each individual situation, okay? Okay, so moving on. What your mystical moment is, or your synchronicity, is under my umbrella. Oh my god, I love this card. So this card is super cute. Now you see this guy, he's literally riding a parrot. I know, like, who rides a parrot, right? It's a cute parrot though. I like it. But he's riding this parrot and he's trying to protect this parrot. Now, even though this character on here knows that this parrot could turn around and peck his eyes out at any moment, you know, they're still taking the effort to protect and shelter this bird. So I akin this bird to being a really, really abrasive person that you just don't want to like, but you kind of have to like, and you kind of do like, even though you might not should. You know, it's that person who you choose to defend that nobody thinks is worth defending. It could also be that. This bird could also be you. You could just have gotten to such a point where you're like, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore. Screw you guys, I'm going home. That kind of thing, okay? But you've, whether you recognize it or not, you've actually got someone who is, they got your back. Literally, they have your back, and you may not even realize that. This person may come in and offer you some guidance that may not make sense at the time that they relay that guidance, but will come into play later on. That's what I'm picking up as well. Birds may offer a synchronicity for you, umbrellas, which is super ironic here in the Northern Hemisphere because it's summertime here. Like, literally, it's summertime here. There's a very small chance you'll need an umbrella. And if you're in my hood, and if you're in my head and you use an umbrella, it's obvious you're a transplant. Because I'm in Washington State. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting from that. Now, what your soul's trying to tell you is to become your own sovereign. This is another one of my favorite cards, because it's got the Vesica Pisces in it. But basically, it comes down to being... Save yourself. That's what it comes down to. Save yourself. So this hangman energy that you're in, this power that you're trying to muster, I mean, for crying out loud, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 majors in this entire spread. Chariot, strength twice, and then the hangman energy, the lover's energy. Okay. It's up to you. How do I put this? So no one is going to force you to believe the things that you don't, especially if you're grown and you're an adult. So being your own sovereign really speaks to just standing up for yourself. And again, that comes back down to the throat chakra card. There's just something you're not saying. There's something you need to speak. You're trying to like muster the strength in order to do so. And of course, once you do so, like literally, it's going to be falling. Okay. Dollar bills, y'all. Like the abundance is coming to you quickly, but you have to get through this step first, okay? And part of that is just going to be saying, this is what I will and will not accept. This is who I am. This is who I'm not. Take it or leave it. All right? So where you're at on your path this week is blame. Oh boy. It says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. So sometimes we can get into such a state where... especially when multiple things are going wrong in our life, or we feel that are going wrong in our life. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I've got to loosen this boot. The things are going wrong in our life, and it's easy to want to blame other people. And it's like, you can't blame other people for things that you do. The things that you do, your decisions lead you to exactly where you are. Every decision you've made has led you to where you are right now at this moment. There is nobody that you can blame, other than yourself if you're going to place blame. I wouldn't place blame on yourself. Just consider it as a learning lesson, okay? Now, this is a lesson for you this week. So it could also be that someone's just really going to piss you off, going to try to tell you who you are and who you're not. And it's in that moment that you're going to have to try to maintain your balance, find the people that are in your corner, and release the burden of this person, whoever this person is. I'm getting multiple storylines kind of going on with this, so I know this particular reading jumped around for a bit, but if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All the information you could ever possibly want to know is in the description box. Let's see here. There's a channeling over on Patreon. You can ask me questions over on Instago, which is now on freaking Android. Like, holy crapple, man. I am super excited about that. Okay, so that's all I've got for you this week, Water Tribe. I'm, gratitude for you always. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope you have a wonderful week, okay? Bye.